What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training. And today we're going to be breaking down 3 ways to run an out route. Okay, so we're going to be talking about how you guys can run an out route versus zone coverage, how you guys can run an out route versus off-man coverage, and then how you guys can run an out route with a square cut move at the top of the break. So I hope this video helps you guys out, teaches you a few things about route running and what you could do to create some separation. But also, fellas, if you guys are local to one of these 9 cities listed below, Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, or Los Angeles, California, we are going to be traveling to your city for a 2-day long quarterback and wide receiver training camp. We're going to be coming to 9 different cities across the United States this offseason. The spots are going to be limited in these camps. There's only about 10 to 12 guys per position, per age group, so we're keeping things small so we can actually take the time to coach you. So if you guys want more information on this, what we're going to be working on, we're doing 1-on-1, 7-on-7, 2 days of positional work. Check out that very first link below. If you're local to one of those areas or would like to travel out, we would love to have you. Very first link in the description below. Let's get started with this video. So now, first things first, when we look at Odell Beckham right here, when he's running this out route, this is the first way you guys can run an out route versus this outside shade coverage zone here, is you want to attack the inside. So anytime that you guys see zone coverage, right, how do we know it's zone coverage? A DB's eyes are going to be on the quarterback, right? He's looking to the inside. He's off maybe about 7 yards, maybe like 5 to 8 yards, 5 to 10, whatever it may be. But that's how we know it's zone. So if I have to run this out route and you see how Odell's split is cut way down, what do you think you want to do right here? You want to threaten the DB where he wants me to go. Because again, he's outside shade and I want to run outside. So if I want to run outside but the DB's outside shade, I got to get him off that platform. I got to get him to move, because a lot of guys, what they'll do is when they have an outside shade DB and they got to run a 10-yard out, is they'll just attack him. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to attack his leverage. Guess what that DB's taught to do when you attack his leverage off the line? He's going to keep his leverage. He's just going to widen and you're going to run right into him on this out route. So we have to threaten him to the open grass. You always want to threaten him to the open grass. So that's exactly what Odell does. You see how he angles his stem to the inside. He's attacking here, and he's got those principles of selling fade. That's the key. So first way to run this 10-yard out route versus outside shade zone coverage is attack the inside shoulder hard to force the hip turn from the DB. And what will force the hip turn is you got to have speed. So you got to keep the same stride. You got to have speed with your lower half. Your upper body has to stay committed. I can't tell you how many guys will lose separation at the top of the break because they'll run and then they start to chop their steps and then they get out of this break. When Odell runs this route, this is a speed out route. He is going full speed, bam, puts that foot in the ground, ripping those arms to accelerate out of the break, because when I could get that DB to commit his hips, you know damn well he knows he got beat, and he's going to be trying to get out of this thing as fast as possible in speed turn. So that's a great job by Odell, selling to the inside, attacking the inside shoulder, getting the DB's hips to turn, and then breaking this off. Now, some people might ask me, hey, coach, well, what if he doesn't turn his hips? What if he just sits right there and then I have to run the out route into him? Then the next time we have a fade route, let's make it look the exact same and let's take him on the fade route, because you have to use routes to set up other routes. You got to make all your routes look like you're running a different route. Every single route should build off of a fade, so we have to make it look like that. You have to set the tone. Even when you have a fade and you're not a part of the play, that will set up a route situation like so. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Odell attacking the inside shoulder, getting his hips to turn, then breaking that thing off suddenly to accelerate him out of the break. So now, second way that you guys can run this out route, this is more of like an off-man coverage. And again, DB is going to be outside shade. It's going to be by using a rocker step or a triple rocker step, okay? So now, there's another way you can run that speed out, quicker out route. Quarterback wants to get this ball out of his hands, but this is like off-man. But let me ask you guys this. Why does a DB even play outside shade? Why would he ever play outside shade? Because where? He's trying to force you inside. He does not want to let you get to the outside simply because he doesn't have help over there. He has safety help over the middle. So he's outside shade. He's trying to force you to his help. So it's easier for that safety to make a play and much harder on the quarterback. So what do you think we want to do? We want to threaten him to the open grass, right? Especially when it's off man. And it's off man because, again, looking at his numbers, eyes are going to be on us if it is off man. So let's watch Cooper Kupp. So he attacks the inside shoulder, 1-2, squares him up to the outside with that rocker step, and then makes this play. So he does like a triple rocker step where it's 1, 2, 3, right? So you can look at the moves. It's left, right, left. He does a triple rocker step. A double rocker step will also do, but again, it's just another way to threaten the inside and make it look like a what? Make it look like a post. That's another way that you guys can get separation on this. So first way that we talked about with Odell is just attacking with speed, getting him to turn and bail, and then slipping underneath. Another way is maybe we make it look like a post. I give him an inside move. I work that rocker step, and I sell with that upper half to get him to jump. There's a couple different ways to do it. There's a bunch of different ways to skin a cat. So we watch this thing here. So let's talk about the mechanics of this. So this rocker step, where's the DB looking in off man? looking at the torso, trying to read body language, right? So I got to make sure that I sell with my body language. I have to move my upper body to try to get this DB off the platform. So what does Cooper Kupp do? He moves his body, gives the move to the inside, then throws. On the last movement, his shoulders and his hips, everything about this looks like a post, and he's just catching himself and putting that foot in the grass right now. So another way that you could run an out route against outside shade, off man coverage is going to be by using this triple or double rocker step, or not even necessarily a double, they just call it a rocker step, triple rocker, or just regular rocker step to get that DB to sit on the post and for you to drive out. So now we talked about the triple, right? You want to step opposite of where you want to go first. You want to go left, you want to go to the right, you step with your left foot first to make those three moves. Now, if you were to be going just regular rocker step where you're taking two steps, you want to step to the side that you're going first. So if you're breaking to the right, you'd step with your right foot first and sell that post to the inside. So it's all relative, fellas. It all builds off of each other. You just got to make sure that you have not a million different ways, but about 4 to 5 different ways to run a specific route like this based on the coverages that you guys are going to see. When you guys are preparing for a team on film, you shouldn't be just, when I get out there, I'll figure it out. No, you got to study film on that DB. How does he like to play you? Is he in zone coverage like this? Or is he in zone coverage like the clip before? Off man coverage like this? How does he play it? What does he play it? And how can I beat it? And we should have a plan for every single coverage that looks relatively similar to other routes I'm going to be working, like a post route for this example. Let's watch it again, full speed one more time. Great job by Kupp hitting him with this triple move, getting him to bite, and then accelerating out of this break. Okay, so now, last but not least, this is going to be a square cut break on an out route. So I want to talk to you about when you would use this type of break because it is not going to be on a speed out. So this is a fast clip. I'm going to play it a couple times first, and then we'll talk about it. So Thielen kind of works a drop, cut to the outside, then accelerate out and runs this out route. Let's watch it again, full speed one more time. So he's attacking him, bam, throws the move, and then breaks to the inside. So let's talk about this, right? So that's a long cut, right? Let's play it in slow motion one more time. So you see how it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He takes 5 steps at the top of the break, and this is an out route. So let me tell you this. It is not a speed out. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is not a situation where the quarterback's taking 3 steps and just letting this thing rip right off the 3rd step because simply quarterback doesn't have the timing for that. He's going to be putting this thing like he's going to speed cut it, and we're doing those 5 steps at the top of the break, and it just wastes too much time. So when would you do this? He's running an out route. Why would he do this type of move? It would be off of play action, or it would be off of a sprint out situation, or it's maybe like a flood concept where it's not going to be an out route that's right off the break. It's not like a speed out. It's going to be a longer developing out route, okay? That's when you would use this. You got to make sure that we don't use this when it's a speed out opportunity because that quarterback's going to overthrow us and we're going to get screamed at by our coach. We have to know when to use these longer developing moves, okay? So now let's talk about why he decided to go with this, right? So again, DB's outside shade. This is more like off man. So where do you want to attack? You want to threaten him to the grass, to the open grass to try to get him to jump. So a square cut's another way to do that. We're trying to sell, let me ask you this. You have an outside shade DB and you had to run a dig route. How would you run that dig route? You would attack his leverage. You would get him to keep his leverage, and then you break it off, and you'd have a lot of space from his help to the inside because of your stem. So we want to make it look just like that. You want to make your routes look similar because they can build off of each other. So now I come off here, I attack his leverage. He's thinking that I'm running a dig. I actually sell with my upper half. I give that snap down. The way I coach my receivers is we do it off of 4 steps. Is I would coach them to be well, actually, you know what? No, in this situation, I'm thinking about the wrong move. I would teach them to go right, left, right, left. I would teach them to take 4 steps. So I'd teach them to break on the right leg, come to balance on the left leg, plant off the right leg, and cut back on the inside. He ends up taking 5 steps. It's not too big of a deal simply because of what we're trying to sell with this move. But that's how I would teach it if you feel like you want a little bit more structure on this. I would teach him to go right, left, instead of taking that little extra stutter step right there. I would just teach him to break off of that. But again, that extra stutter step doesn't matter a whole lot because it's not that big of a step. It's not that big of a deal. But that's how I would coach this to make sure that we are selling and make sure that your hips and your shoulders are selling to the inside like you're running that dig route. We have to threaten the DB on the dig to be able to get him to jump, to maybe get his eyes in the backfield, and then I could slip back underneath and run this out route. So again, everything remains consistent on all 3 of those. You want to attack the inside shoulder, attack the open grass, and then be able to run this route. Now again, a way you can do this as well is if you got an inside shade DB, how would you go about this? I just want to discuss this. Remember, we were talking about this dig route, right? Like, let's say you have to run a dig route and you have outside shade. It's the exact same thing. You'd attack his leverage, getting him to widen and then break it off so you have space before that safety help can get there and the quarterback can put it right in that window. Now, let's say you have an inside shade DB. You have to run an out route. You'd attack his leverage. He'd widen, and then we have a lot of space to be able to accelerate. So I don't really feel the need to talk too much about that because it's a pretty simple concept to get, but the outside shade is what always trips guys up. Let's watch the thing again, full speed. Great job by Thielen selling the dig with that upper half and being able to create some separation on that route. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Always appreciate the feedback. And again, fellas, if you are local to one of those 9 cities that we mentioned below, Tampa, Florida, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out. Spots are going to be limited. So again, hope you guys can take advantage of this opportunity to work with myself and some of the coaches on our staff that have a D1 caliber and NFL background. Very first link below. I'll see you guys next time.